Hello, everyone. I want to take a minute and talk about trauma bonds. So, I got a text message. Sorry. So, trauma bonds, right? What is a trauma bond? Let's just say you have a best friend in like elementary school and y'all both live in the same hood, your family's the same income bracket, you lack the same things, you enjoy the same things, everything is similar, but for whatever reason you go to college, right? You end up going to college after high school and your friend does not. Your friend, let's just say 6 years after graduation, might have decided to have some kids and they are working and they're struggling just like their parents did, right? And you, on the other hand, might be struggling in another way, paying your student loans and being busy with work and haven't quite met someone that you want to have children with. So you're living two different lifestyles. But you learn to bond over your childhood, and you also learn to bond over adulthood and your struggles. But let's just fast forward 10 years after graduation, after high school graduation. Wait, is it 10 years? Let's say 12, where you're both in your 30s at this point. You might be the college graduate who is now successful and is just now starting a family, and you're doing so on good financial ground, whereas your friend is still in the same cycle that they were 5 or 6 years after graduation, still struggling. Everything's still the same. They might still be in the same hood. They might have not have, even left. And you're living a different life from them. So when you meet up, you don't have the same things to talk about. You realize that you've grown apart, but you don't realize why and how. And so that's what trauma bonds are. And the sad thing about trauma bonds is that oftentimes, more than friendships, we create them most with our family members. You grow up with your family members. If you got siblings, you grow up with your parents. You grow up with your grandparents, your aunts, your cousins. Everyone is used to the same thing. Everyone sees you in a certain way, and they will only continue to bond with you over the traumas that you've experienced, whether, when it comes to siblings, if you had terrible parents, you're going to continue to bond over that. And it always seems to be a thing, right? If you had one parent that was good and one parent that was bad, that's also another trauma bond that you and your siblings will constantly talk about. If you lack food, it's a trauma bond. If you lack money in general in your household growing up, and there's always somebody in each family that learns to do something different, but you grow away from everyone else because you no longer are experiencing that trauma and you're able to heal it, whereas other people get stuck in the trauma and relive it and recreate it all the time like a broken record. Even though it hurts them, it's what they're used to. And I'm saying this to say because I feel like so many people get stuck in their trauma bond situation, thinking that it's family, thinking that this is love, thinking that this is friendship, it's longevity, it's sticking through the thick and the thin, when in reality you're just holding on to traumas. In other words, you're holding on a dead weight. It's not something that you can benefit from. A trauma, it does push you forward, to push, push out of the trauma, it's a good thing that you experience it so you can push out of it. But when you get stuck with people who are constantly pulling you back towards that trauma, it ain't it. That ain't where it's at. And you will feel depressed and you will feel weighed down. And so it's important to let things go when it's time to let them go. That's all I wanted to say. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share and stuff like that. Thanks.